Did you go on a trip, neglecting your family?
The day I returned from a week-long business trip, my husband, who had changed the locks, locked me out and started saying such things. I was completely taken aback, with no idea what he meant. Proudly, my husband took out several photos, none of which were evidence of infidelity. I denied it all, but he wouldn't listen.
Don't play dumb. You cheating woman. I'm divorcing you, a woman who doesn't do any housework and cheats like you.
My husband said that and thrust a signed divorce paper at me.
I'll dump you like trash. Pay the full $50,000 in alimony.
A husband who threw a tantrum in front of me and said such things. I had reached my limit. I felt the tension snap within me. Understood. I'll proceed with the divorce. As I took the divorce papers in front of me, my husband smirked.
Yeah, hurry up and submit it. I won't budge on the $50,000 alimony.
I took a deep breath and calmly replied, Yes, I understand everything. I'll claim $50,000 in alimony from you.
What?
My name is Natalie Kelly. I'm 32 years old and in my 4th year of marriage. Currently, I work as a remote systems engineer. I graduated from a STEM university and once worked for a major IT company before resigning after marriage. I started working from home. I met my husband through my friend Miranda. Miranda is a classmate from high school, someone I can talk to about anything. She introduced me to a colleague when I lamented, I can't seem to meet anyone. That was Ethan, who later became my husband. From our first meeting, he pursued me persistently. To me, with little romantic experience, his assertiveness seemed masculine and reliable, so I accepted his advances. 2 years later, he proposed, and we got married. However, shortly after marriage, I was surprised to learn something. Ethan had almost no domestic skills. We got married without living together, but while I had been living alone, Ethan had always been living with his parents. Because of that, he can't even operate the washing machine. At first, I thought I could teach him from now on, but he seemed completely uninterested in learning. As he left all the housework to me and did as he pleased, my dissatisfaction grew over time. Unable to bear it any longer, I decided to talk to Ethan one day. Hey, Ethan, can you please try to help out with the housework a bit more?
What's the matter?
Ethan, who had been lying on the couch watching TV, reluctantly got up. So, Ethan, you should also help out a bit with the housework.
Why?
Just as I was about to respond, Ethan interrupted with a bewildered expression. Surprised, I replied, Why? Because we live together, so housework should be shared.
Natalie, what are you talking about? It's always been the wife's job to do the housework.
I was confused by Ethan's unexpected response. But I have a job too, you know.
You're just messing around on the computer at home, aren't you? Your work is overrated. Anyway, whether you work outside or not doesn't matter. Housework is the wife's responsibility.
What the hell is that? The responsibility I thought was dependable and masculine turned out to be a complete male chauvinist. No matter how much I pleaded, he wouldn't listen. I ended up doing all the housework reluctantly. With such a lifestyle, stress naturally built up. When I met my best friend, Miranda, after a long time, I couldn't help but complain. Ethan never tries to do any housework. I'm really at my wit's end. Miranda then gave me a wry smile and offered some support. He's probably relying on you too much. He's hopeless without you, Natalie. But I'm really getting tired. Even so, you love him, right? You have to keep trying. Feeling encouraged by Miranda, I felt a bit relieved. I'm grateful to have a true friend like Miranda. It's really something nice. With this in mind, I returned home and did the housework again that day. Around that time, Ethan started coming home late and being away more often. With that, his attitude became increasingly arrogant. One day, Ethan didn't come home even after 11 p.m., so I finished the housework and rested first. Then, when he returned home late at night, he suddenly woke me up by hitting me.
Hey, Natalie, wake up!
Huh? What's wrong, Ethan? Rubbing my eyes, I asked Ethan.
What do you think you're doing, sleeping without waiting for your husband's return?
Huh? But you didn't come back, even after contacting you, and I have work tomorrow.
No excuses. Got it? When I come back, you better greet me with a smile. And make sure the meal and bath are ready perfectly.
But,
Just get up. I'm hungry, so make me a midnight snack.
looking at the clock, it was past 1 a.m. At this hour? Please, have mercy.
Just get up. Do you want a divorce?
The word divorce surprised me, and I got up. Then, nervously, I made pasta. Ethan waited with his arms crossed. When I served the pasta, he ate it contentedly and said,
After this, I'll take a bath, so get the towel and change of clothes ready.
Yes, understood. Despite the hardship, I tried my best to fulfill Ethan's wishes as much as possible. Around that time, my work started to get busy. I had taken on a major new project, which not only involved remote work, but also increased meetings outside. I informed Ethan about it, but he only said,
Don't slack off on the housework.
a job that requires constant attention and housework that demands perfection. Before I knew it, I no longer had time to relax alone, and I was constantly under pressure. Ethan still spent a lot of time away from home, and we didn't have much time together as a couple. But by then, I started to think it was better if he didn't come back, as being alone at home meant I had fewer choices. One day, something had happened. I made a small mistake. Feeling a bit sick that day, I couldn't go shopping, and I ended up running out of beer, which Ethan always drinks.
Hey, where's the usual beer?
Coming home late that day, Ethan noticed there was no beer prepared and asked irritably, I'm sorry. We ran out. I'm not feeling well today.
What are you doing? You're really useless.
He sighed and continued.
Go to the convenience store right now and buy some, and it's coming out of your own pocket.
I have a cold and a fever.
So what? You're just always like this. If it were her in this situation...
Huh? Ethan had a look on his face like he realized something. If it were her? What do you mean?
I meant my subordinate. Unlike you, I have a subordinate who understands things.
I see. Still not satisfied, Ethan pushed me to the front door.
Just go buy the beer.
Yes, understood. Despite feeling dizzy from the cold, I went out late at night. Ethan's words earlier, something about them bothers me. Maybe there's a connection to his sudden arrogance. That moment, I began to suspect Ethan. His attitude remained the same, and despite often being away from home, he'd boss me around when he was there. Then trouble arose at work, and I had to go on a business trip to a neighboring state. I timidly informed Ethan. I have to go on a business trip for about a week due to work issues. I braced myself for harsh words, but Ethan's response was unexpected.
I see. Can't be helped then. Take care.
Is that okay?
It's work, so it can't be helped, right?
For some reason, my husband was in a good mood. Is everything okay with chores and stuff, even when I'm not around?
Don't worry about it. Just go and come back safely.
Ethan said, patting my shoulder. It didn't sit right with me, but I decided to appreciate his willingness to send me off on the trip. I decided to think of it that way. The next day, the person in charge came to pick me up by car, so I hopped in and headed to the business trip destination. The site was in turmoil due to troubles, but as I stepped in, the problems gradually resolved, and the situation was brought under control earlier than expected. Seems like I've caused Ethan some trouble. I should buy him a souvenir on my way back. I bought some alcohol and snacks that he would like and started my journey back home in the early afternoon. Upon arriving at my house, I tried to unlock the front door by inserting the key, but for some reason, it wouldn't open. No matter how many times I tried, it remained locked, so I called Ethan. Ethan, I've just arrived home, but for some reason the key won't open the door.
Oh, I changed the lock, so it's natural you can't get in.
Huh? You changed the locks? Why? Confused, I exclaimed as Ethan sneered over the phone.
Because you've been neglecting your household chores for a week and doing as you please. You worthless wife.
Huh?
We'll talk once I'm done with work. Come to the family restaurant near my office.
The call ended abruptly, leaving me stunned, but I gathered my things and headed to the designated family restaurant. I still had some time before Ethan arrived. Remembering something, I started working at the restaurant. Several hours later, Ethan arrived at the restaurant after finishing work. Ethan, you're late. What's the deal with changing the locks? I confronted Ethan right away.
Shut up, I already told you. It's because you've been abandoning your duties as a wife to play around.
But I told you about the business trip. You agreed, didn't you, Ethan? My husband then responded bitterly.
No, I don't recall hearing that. You were probably off on a cheating trip, neglecting your chores, weren't you?
What? I was taken aback by the unexpected accusation of a cheating trip. Ethan proudly took out several photos. They showed me getting into a car with a male colleague from work.
This is evidence. Shamelessly riding with another man.
After reviewing all the photos, there was nothing that could be considered cheating. I was just in a car. What are you talking about? These are just pictures of me traveling with a colleague for work.
Stop playing dumb, you cheating woman.
Ethan's face turned red with anger, unwilling to listen.
I'm divorcing you for being a wife who doesn't do chores and cheats.
Ethan shoved a signed divorce paper towards me. Divorce?
I'll just discard you like trash. I'm demanding $50,000 in damages, so make sure you pay up.
My husband arrogantly boasted in front of me like that. I had reached my limit. I felt the tension snap within me. Understood. I will proceed with the divorce. As I took the divorce papers in front of me, my husband smirked.
Yeah, go ahead and submit it. The alimony will be $50,000, not a dollar less.
I took a deep breath and calmly responded. Yes, I understand completely. I'll be claiming $50,000 in damages from you.
Huh?
He looked up at me with a confused expression.
I'll be claiming? Do you even know what you're saying? You're the one who cheated, so you should be the one paying damages.
Well, who knows? Ethan looked annoyed and was about to say something back to me when a third person appeared. It was Miranda, whom I had called in advance. Huh? What's going on here? Miranda looked flustered, glancing between me and Ethan. Ethan's face suddenly went pale. Thank you for coming, Miranda. Could you please sit down for now? While Miranda tried to sit next to me, I stopped her and made her sit next to Ethan.
Hey, Natalie. What do you mean calling Miranda here?
As Ethan stuttered, I responded coldly. What do you mean? You two know best, don't you?
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
You and her were the ones cheating, I snapped. Yes, they were sneaking around behind my back. Doubting the cheerful Ethan who had sent me on a business trip, I had set up surveillance cameras around the house. I was too busy during the trip to check, so I opened my laptop at the restaurant to review the recordings. And there it was, clear as day, them meeting and engaging in acts at our house. I suspected he might be cheating, but I never imagined it would be with my close friend Miranda. At that moment, all I could think about was getting back at them.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
That's right, Natalie. Aren't you misunderstanding something? I pointed the computer screen at the two who were playing dumb. Their disgraceful images were right there, enough to make you want to look away. Ethan and Miranda were both speechless. Well, what's the meaning of this? This is an invasion of privacy. I calmly retorted to Miranda, who was raising her voice. What's wrong with installing security cameras in your own home? If you're going to resent anyone, resent yourselves for being so foolish.
What the hell are you doing to us?
Though Ethan was furious and red-faced, I asked expressionlessly. So there's no doubt you two were cheating, right? Well, with this much evidence, there's no way to deny it. They were tongue-tied, but eventually Ethan started speaking.
A while after we got married, she made a move on me. We ended up in a deep relationship.
Oh, is that so? Miranda did, huh? Well, I don't really care about that. When I said this disinterestedly, Miranda exploded in anger. I've never liked your smug attitude. That's why I took your husband. I'll be happy with Ethan, so just get lost already. Despite Miranda's frantic state, I calmly responded. Fine, I get it. I'll leave you with this domineering jerk.
What did you say?
Despite Ethan rising in anger, I ignored him. Divorce is fine with me, and since the house is rented, I'm moving out. With just my income, I can afford to live in a better place. But you haven't forgotten, have you?
Huh?
Simultaneously tilting their heads, I retorted to Miranda, "You two better cough up that $50,000 in alimony." The two of them immediately turned pale. I know they have a tendency to spend recklessly and have almost no savings.
Wait, have mercy. We can't afford that much.
Ethan clung to me with a pale face. Looking down at him, I yelled with all my might, "Pay up the $50,000 in alimony and don't you dare skimp out on it. I'll make sure to get it from you, whether through court or any means necessary."
No!
Ignoring the two who had shrunk into themselves, I left the scene. Later, the divorce between Ethan and me was successfully finalized. Initially, they protested, saying they couldn't afford the alimony, but when I mentioned submitting the evidence of their affair to the court, they hastily came up with the $50,000. Actually, I had already reported that evidence to their company. Thanks to that, they became the subject of uncomfortable gossip at the company, and they both resigned simultaneously. Moreover, it seems they were in debt from my alimony payments, and their constant fighting led to their breakup shortly after. With no job, Ethan moved into a rundown apartment and worked tirelessly, day and night, to repay his debts. Miranda gracefully returned to her rural hometown. And as for me, I moved into a newly built apartment with the alimony payment and lead a leisurely and self-sufficient life. With no extra household chores to worry about, my work is going smoothly, and my editing career is thriving. From now on, I want to enjoy life freely and search for people I can trust. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video!